wrong one. I actually did the wrong thing. Welcome to Random Hangout.
Play the intro. She worked so hard on it.
I worked so hard. I gotta play the intro. Oh my God, I lost it. Seriously, I lost my intro.
It's back there. Click on the
yellow. No, that's the outro. Oh, it is. You're right.
That's the intro. Play it.
Oh. Yeah, watch this. Is it? Oh, it's in the middle.
Hit play. There you go. Thank you. Move your cursor there. All right, that was a big blunder. So we hope that you enjoyed our intro anyway.
Whoops. I don't know what I'm doing.
Where the heck did we go?
I don't know. I'm trying to share the right thing. Here we are.
Go.
Hi.
Okay.
We're still learning. I wanted to play an intro. I saw it on the Jess and Scott show. Loved the intro. So had to do an intro. Sorry.
I know. You did.
Sorry.
Okay. Welcome to Random Hangout. Let's do our introduction.
I forgot what it was.
Did you write it down? Okay. Welcome to Random Hangout. We are your guilt-free distraction for the day. I remember that.
We're trying to be professional. It is like totally not working.
It's not working today. Okay, I'll let you know why. It's not working. We tried to be professional. I just drove in from North Carolina to Ohio here in Pleasantville with my friend Ivana. So we are live and together. So that's like dynamite. Dynamite, and it's a train wreck waiting to happen. So we're going to have a lot of fun today, but we are going to learn some great stuff because like we told you when we shared the Hangout, we have a great guest on today. We're going to have a friendly debate, so you are going to learn some stuff. But you got to be silly with us first, and then we'll bring on the good stuff and our wonderful guest today. Are you going to tell them
who it is?
In a minute.
Oh, it's a surprise.
So they know.
Oh, they know. Well, there are some people that might be surprised. Somebody even just dropped off already. Seriously? Come on. Jeez.
Okay, so I drive up from Ohio. I got in at 4 this morning. That's why I look like I do today. So
it's a good thing we don't have a stylist on.
I know. I'm glad we don't have an image consultant as our guest. That would not be good.
That would not be good. I have a little piece of hair sticking up. So I hope you guys could really see that. I meant to do that.
Exactly. So, and Ivana has been a gracious guest. She even got me hostess. I mean, oh, you're not the guest, are you?
You're the guest.
I haven't had any sleep. So she had me grits. I'm from North Carolina. You guys know I'm a Southern girl. And even when we went to Vegas for Be the Change, I had to talk them into making me grits. So she said she didn't want to see me angry, so she wanted to make sure there were grits in the house for when I came. So
exactly. She made these, chefs make all kinds of grits for her, and I said, oh, my word, I had better have some grits for the Southern girl. But, as you can tell, I'm a little bit absent-minded today because in addition to the grits, I did make bacon, super crispy, just like she liked it.
Very good.
But you know what I forgot? I forgot the Southern biscuits. I have Southern biscuits. They are in my freezer.
We'll do those tomorrow.
Right.
But she gets the grits, and she said, I got these grits, and they're the kind that you make because I know that you like the real grits because you don't want to make them because they taste better. And I said, yeah, they do taste better. But when someone else makes them. When I make my own grits, I get the instant grits because I'm too lazy to make these. So I get up this morning and trying to figure out how to make grits, and I got to make my own stinking grits, but they turned out good, and I'll be making grits all weekend long.
She's taking it home with her because I'm not a grit eater.
She doesn't like grits. She's got to get on board.
Hey, enough about us. Just one more thing about us very briefly. So what is your bathroom epiphany?
Okay, so hashtag bathroom epiphany is there's just not enough information on bathroom etiquette. So I'm thinking, okay.
So bathroom etiquette is our hashtag for the day.
Yes, bathroom etiquette. Someone needs to come up with some bathroom etiquette tips so that you know. We know a few little things, but no one really is teaching bathroom etiquette. So, you know, do you hand the toilet paper under the stall, or you don't? You say, you know, you only got enough for you. What do you do? Or when you're a guest in someone's home and you go to the bathroom and you sit down and you pee, and then you look over and this is what you see. What do you do? So you look under the sink and you don't see any toilet paper, so you look in the little cabinet behind you. Shut up. And there's no toilet paper in there either. And then you're just about to use the hand towel hanging by the sink, and that's probably not the right answer, when you notice that there are some wipies. So you can use the wipies. But if there wasn't wipies, then my next option was going to be, while sitting on the toilet, to open the bathroom door and yell for Eva to come bring me some toilet paper. Not sure if that's appropriate either.
We want to know what you think.
Yeah, so let us know. What is the appropriate thing? Would you yell for the person, use their hand towel, just drip dry and go? Yeah, what's the proper etiquette when you're stuck in someone's bathroom with this and absolutely nothing? So,
but there's more to it than that. We digress, right? You guys came to hear about email, and we want to talk about email, and I'm really kind of curious. There's been a debate going on, and I'm not really sure what the right etiquette is even around email. There's probably lots of cool stuff.
There is. So some people say, you can do email, you need to do it in a certain way. Some people say email is dead, kind of like our guest. You want to introduce our guest today?
Our guest is Phil Bowyer. I hope I'm saying that right. Like with a name like Eva and I hope I'm not like crashing.
You're used to people chopping your name.
I'm used to it, and maybe Phil is not. But tell us how you met Phil.
Exactly. He had a great hangout that he did called Return to Sender. And it was about, the gist of it that I got from it was that email marketing was dead. So I don't agree that email marketing is dead. I'm an online business manager. I use it a lot for my clients. I have a lot of clients who launch products, who do newsletters, which I don't necessarily think newsletters are absolutely necessary. But I do think email marketing is necessary, because I don't know of any other way that we can really drive traffic to an event and to a launch without email marketing. So I'm hoping in this lighthearted debate with Phil that he can prove us wrong. That would be great.
That would be awesome.
I don't have to send any more emails for crazy clients like Eva. So,
and I would get engagement and registrations and all of this without having to rack my brain coming up with like really engaging and fun email copy.
Exactly. So let's bring in our guest for today.
Let's bring him in. I hope this works, because it worked in the green room. Let's hope it works again. Phil. We're gonna call him Dr. Phil.
Dr. Feel Good. He's the one that don't send no emails.
So funny. So funny.
I will be so happy if I don't have to send no emails.
Phil, where's he at?
Where did you go?
This is not good. We should have just kept him there because we had him.
Where did you go? Just call him again. Go up there, add people.
I did.
Add him in.
It worked the first time.
Put his name in. There he is.
I have him in my experts and
there you go.
Circle.
Now invites. And there it goes.
I bet he's having the same problem. There he is.
Hello. Let him get in. Hi, Phil.
You guys?
Rock on. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
We are doing great. We want to have a little friendly debate with you on email marketing, but first, we may have like really jacked up your introduction. So can you tell the people a little bit more about yourself that's probably more true and that we didn't get?
You know what? There was two of you talking, so I missed all that. Sorry about that.
Okay, go ahead. Give us a little introduction of for yourself. Tell everyone who you are and what you do, kind of thing.
My name is Phil Boyer, and I break rules. I help entrepreneurs break rules. That's my thing. Hence, the email marketing is dead. So,
Exactly. Perfect. And we like to break rules. We are rebels, so we want to break some rules, but we just don't know if we can get on board with this email marketing
We'd
is
like
dead
to.
kind of thing. Yeah, but we would love to because I don't want to send any emails. I spend a lot of my time sending emails for clients for launching their products and things like that. So tell us a little more about if we can't this is what I want to know. So if I have a client that's launching a product, or they're launching their book, or their ebook, or their digital product, or whatever, we're going to use some social media in that, but we're not really getting a lot of response. We'll get some of the response from there, but we feel like we've got to be sending these emails too.
You need
We're
calls
sending
to action. You need conversions, right? So what is your philosophy, Phil? Tell us your stand on the whole email thing and what's behind it.
exactly.
okay, I'm a big believer in relationship marketing. And so, what I do is I build contacts and relationships with people across many different industries. And then, therefore, we do a lot of this work ahead of time. So, when you build relationships, people tend to like care about what you say more. So there's a couple schools of thought where social media is concerned. Let's just blast our content. Let's create a crap load of content, throw it out there, and yeah, it goes to crickets because we have this immunity now towards email and social media posts and all this stuff, right?
Right.
So once we get to know each other, we engage on the comments here on the event page, things like that. We have these conversations. We all get to know each other. And then when I post something, which I don't do very often, it's another rule I break, people actually pay attention and I get comments and I get engagement because there's that relationship there. Email, when we're talking about email's one-sided a lot of times. You're sending something to somebody and there it sits. You hope they open it. You hope they click on a link. You hope all this stuff. And for a lot of people, those hopes and dreams shatter. And the reality is nobody cares and the email gets deleted, never opened, never even looked at.
Right. So I can get on board with the fact of if you're not I get that. That makes sense. If you're not sending out Facebook posts or Twitter posts or Google Plus posts all the time on a regular basis, then when you do, people pay attention. I can relate that to, like, I grew up with like a military father who was very quiet, didn't talk very much, so he wasn't constantly chatter, 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 chatter. But as soon as he said something, I paid attention. We all paid attention. It was like, okay, Daddy said something. It must be important because he doesn't just talk to be talking or to hear his head rattle like a lot of people do. So that's like an aha for me. I get that. That makes sense because people do tell you, oh, you need to have this many posts and that many posts. And I do believe that you have to build a relationship. Even in your email marketing, though, I think that's still, I call it nurturing your list. So I still think you can build relationships and build them in email marketing by providing not just sending out emails that are buy this or do this, but sending out emails that are giving them great information that they might want. Maybe you're giving them weekly tips or something like that, and that to me is engagement as well. Do you not feel like that's engaging email-wise?
I don't. I think email is difficult. I think it's a difficult tool to use because what's happened is email is a communication tool. And it's not a content delivery tool. And I think everybody's trying to use it as a content delivery tool. And we have better tools for that. It's trying to use a hammer when we want to, screw in a screw. That's how I look at email marketing.
Okay, so what advice though do you give to say someone who hasn't been engaging in social media? Because like you kind of have an advantage. You have been engaging in social media, so you do have these followers that when you do say something, they listen. And probably a lot of times when you launch a product out there, you put something out there, a lot of them are going to buy from you just because it's you and they have that relationship with you. But what about these people that haven't been doing that very well, but they still want to launch their product, and they can't just get out there and throw out a product because they haven't been engaging first, but they have been engaging through email. So that seems like the correct avenue to launch the product through, and use social media kind of as a
support.
Yeah, like a support or a second avenue, because they haven't been engaging on social media. So with a person in that situation, it's all great and dandy, and we can all right now start engaging like you're suggesting on social media so that we can use that more instead of email marketing. But what if you're like a lot of us, where most of your engagement has been email and not social media, and now you're about to launch a product?
Well, here's the thing. If you've got 10,000 people on your list, or whatever the number is, and email is working for you,
right,
keep going. Keep doing it. Now, I would start branching off, because I do think we are in a transition where, like I was talking about before, we are becoming immune to email. Everybody's inbox is overflowing with, frankly, garbage.
Right.
So, I do think we need to start rethinking email and how we use email and how we're using that tool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
That's the cable guy.
All right, sorry, it scared me. The power company just pulled up in front of our house, and I just want to make sure with the power bill was good, we didn't get cut off. Sorry.
I have a bigger question to ask, Phil. I am really, really interested. I'm all about it. I have a huge social media presence with lots of engagement, all that other kind of good stuff. And I have a decent list, right? But one of my concerns, and I know maybe I'm speaking for a lot of other viewers, one of my concerns is, what is your recommendation for what a process or a flow would look like in, where you're engaging with people in social media, they get to know you, right? How do you go from social media engagement to conversions and cash? That's what I want to know.
Let's see. That's difficult to explain and make into a process, because it's not really a process. It's I know this sounds kind of like BS, but it's something that just kind of happens, right?
Well, you're suggesting you kind of start weaning. If you're doing good in email marketing, but you no longer want to do email marketing because from what you say it's dead or it's dying, then you kind of need to start. If that's where you're getting engagement right now, you can continue, but you need to start in building your engagement in social media so you can kind of wean yourself off the email marketing tit.
Family show.
Oh.
Unlike the green room.
Yeah, the green room. I think that was PG.
That was PG at least.
The green room. Sorry, you guys missed that one. You might not be, but but yeah, okay. I mean, so that's what you suggest. Maybe you start weaning yourself off then of email marketing slowly. Is that what you're saying?
Right. You have to start looking at the future. I mean, my thing is break rules. What does that exactly mean? That means quit listening to people that say you ultimately have to have an email list, or you absolutely have to be on social media, you have to be on Facebook or whatever. Stop listening to those knuckleheads, because that's all nonsense, because every business, every person is unique, and we all have to take these tools. These are nothing more than tools, and you make them work for us and our personality and who we are. And that's kind of what I'm all about. So if email marketing is working great for you, fine, keep doing it. Don't let me say don't do it, because that's not exactly what I'm saying. I am saying, though, take a look at that and look at the future. I've been on the web since 93, 94 when it first started. I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of stuff has happened. And we are in a transition now. The idea of you have to be, on my website traffic, the email list, I need to own my list. I think we're moving away from that because, frankly, people don't want to go to websites. They don't want to give out their email. They're on Google+, they're on Twitter. That's where we need to be engaging with them, where they are, because that's where they're hanging out. We need to be where our audience is.
I'm 100% with you. And along that same philosophy, one of my things is, just like you said, email is a communication platform. I believe that platforms like Google Plus, where we are, and like Twitter, and you have to, I don't believe that's a selling platform or an offer platform. I believe that we're all on these spaces to engage with each other, share information, educate each other, all that kind of stuff. But I do, because when I go to Twitter, that's a news feed. I'm not going to Twitter to shop. If I want to shop, I'm going to go to eBay. Right? If I want to shop, I'm going to eBay. If I want to engage with people, I'm going to come here. And I hate it when people sell to me through that channel. So, Phil, what's your advice on where does the sale happen for you? Or in your mind?
Good question.
The sale happens actually on your website or on any site that you sell on. Like for me, I've got my books on Barnes & Noble and on Amazon and my website. So I sell in those areas. That's where the transaction happens. No, you don't. You want to make people aware that you have these things, right? Go to Amazon and go buy my book. But, you don't want to really badger it. I work with a lot of authors and stuff like that. And, you go to their Twitter feed and it's all, go buy my book. I've got a 5-star review.
That's what I'm
That's all, I tune out of that. That's not important.
Away from Twitter to go look at your sales page very often either, because I want to finish reading my news feed. And so I'm going to read all my news feed. Yeah, you got a book for sale. I'm not clicking away from Twitter right now, though, because I want to finish, I want to see what Chris Daughtry's doing, because he lives near me and I can go stalk him. So I'm looking.
Let me get that name for you.
Yeah, I dropped that name.
She dropped that name
right down the road. Okay, so yeah, I'm not clicking on the link to go to that sales page and go to that other stuff right away. Anyway, I might see it later when I'm done, and I might not. So. Yeah, what do you say? What do you say about that? Really, do you see people honestly getting results from only using social media and getting the click-throughs and getting the actual conversion to actually happen that started from social media?
Oh yeah, I don't have a list, so everything I do is through social media.
You have no list whatsoever.
I have no list whatsoever. I've tried to do the list thing, but honestly, my heart wasn't in it, so it failed. But it's you get what you put into it. You get back what you put into it. So I never really put a whole lot of effort into it. It was more of a pain and a chore than it was. And that's the other thing. I don't believe in doing anything in business that doesn't make you happy. We're all entrepreneurs because we want to party all day and have fun and that sort of thing. So doing stupid stuff.
Exactly. You want to party in your Iron Maiden shirt all day long, hang out with your super cool friend Ivana, do a Google Hangout. This is work, and we call it work.
We call this work. But
exactly.
But Phil, the number one question I have been asked forever and ever, and like you, I'm an early adopter, been on Twitter since it opened, blah blah blah, right? But number one question that every small business owner asks is, how does this make me money? So answer that question for our audience that is asking themselves that question.
Okay, first, it's important to understand that social media is not an overnight solution. You build these relationships, and all the relationships that I have right now in this moment have taken me years and years and years and years to build. Okay?
Right.
So it's the long road. Now, the benefit to that is you're building loyalty. So while it is work, you're also building a loyalty, so you don't always have to be hunting for new customers, right? So again, as you build these relationships, people like you. We can go into the whole psychology of that whole thing, but we don't have time for that. So basically, if we're liked and we can mesmerize people and we can be captivating and we're engaging and we talk to people, people will go out and buy your stuff. They will automatically go to your website and click around and read your posts, get to know you, and then over the course of time, they'll make that transaction, right? And that's the process. So that's how it makes you money. It's an indirect way, but it still happens. And again, it's not an overnight thing. You can use advertising, that's more instant, but again, You're always dumping money into advertising.
You're
I
dumping
believe in,
money. And
I don't think advertising's fun either.
Yeah, I think when you start, you can't just start with social media. Then you have, because in order for that to happen in social media, you have got to build yourself up to an influencer level in order to really be making a lot of money through social media. Whereas through email marketing, it's easier to sell. I think in my experience, what I'm thinking is people kind of expect to be sold in email marketing. So when they are opening it up, they've already kind of got in their mind that you're going to sell them. It's kind of like when they come to a free webinar.
Well, it's like a notice, right? It's like
Exactly.
This thing is happening. So, okay, so Phil, I've got a practical I'll tell you why I was so excited when Rhonda told me about you. Because I have a huge event coming up, this Bizapalooza event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shameless promo, www.smallbizapalooza.com. Go register now. There on social media, I'm doing what I said I wouldn't do. Now, but my point is, I would love to simply promote this and whatever, but when you have sponsors or when you have people that are counting on attendance, what's your recommendation? And I have a social media following, so talk a little bit more about moving your social media relationships, and let's assume they're half decent, right?
Right.
Let's assume, how do you move them forward and get them and notify them?
Right.
Like,
okay.
Without being spammy and you've already got, if you've already got a relationship going with them, is what he's saying, then it shouldn't be spammy. You can just nonchalantly throw it out there, but that doesn't always work. You're not seeing the results from that.
We want to know what you think, Phil.
I have a notification. Actually, I have a couple different notification circles, and these are circles that people opt in, much like email. So if you think the way email works, I use that on Google Plus, and really Google Plus is the only place you can actually kind of do this on. Twitter, it's all public. I don't use Facebook, so I think you could probably do that on Facebook, but yeah.
Yeah.
So those are people that have opted in that say, yeah, I want to know about everything that you do. So that's how I approach that. Plus, then I do these post public. So like for this particular show here, I invited people that I usually invite to my show.
Right.
Okay. And I also did it to public. So some of the people here today were people that are in my notification circle.
Right, exactly.
And this is interesting. So in a lot of ways, I think this is a huge distinction I don't want anyone to miss. What I hear you saying, Phil, is that in a lot of ways, the Google Plus platform that you've chosen to focus on almost does function like an email for you in spirit, right? Because it's
the circles are your segmented lists, right? I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. And the beauty of that is the people, I'm where my audience is. The people are already here on Google Plus, so I don't have to hound them in their inbox. I don't have to hope that they open it or even see it. You know, there's people that don't even open their email for days, right? But I can get to people pretty much instantaneous. So that's the beauty of social media, and if you know how to use the tool the right way and you're creative and you build those relationships, you're going to get that same type of following that you would in an email list.
Okay, okay. That makes sense.
And
All
now,
right, we have some comments from the audience. Yeah, go ahead, Phil. Do you have one thing to add?
I was going to say one thing. We need to, the other thing we are always thinking about is huge numbers.
Right.
I need 10,000 people on my list. I need 10,000 followers on whatever platform.
Right.
We need to get out of that thinking, because realistically, if you think about the Dunbar number, we can't engage with more than 150 people really. So what we need to start thinking about doing is connecting with the right people across different industries that can help make our stuff go viral. So it's not just us that needs to reach these people, it's us that needs to reach a certain core group who will reach that, and then that will go. And that's, I think, the mentality that we need to start thinking about. And that can't happen unless we build these big, strong, tight relationships.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I could get on board with that. Let's see what some of the audience members are saying.
Let's give some kudos to Phil over here. Lee Rickler, He's with Phil on this, and I love he's got like a finger thing or something.
The Google Hangouts.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah. So I really love that comment, right? Especially the part 99% of my marketing emails go straight to delete. I really believe that, right? I love this one too. Hey Lee, you're like a Mr. Commenter. I love that. Right? Yep. Don't just do stuff because your guru said so. I am all aboard with that.
Right, yeah, because what works for everyone else, it doesn't necessarily work for you. And I believe that, but I believe some email marketing is necessary.
I want to bring out Christine Bowen because she and I had a really awesome chat in the event room, and she gave me lots and lots of great tips. I can hear that she is a big follower of Phil.
Christine is great. I love her. She's awesome.
Absolutely. Oh, here's a question. Do you send out emails yourself? Just curious on how that method is working for you as a communication tool. So,
I do use email, but it's on a personal level. It's once that connection and that relationship has been established. So I use email like, hey Lakeisha, how's it going? Here's something I thought you might be interested in or whatever. It's more of a one-on-one versus one-to-many. So that's kind of how I do it. And Lakeisha's great too. I love her as well.
Do you not send any email broadcast at all?
No, I don't.
Oh wow, that's interesting. That is very interesting.
No, all my email, like I said, is one-to-one.
And you're not doing a newsletter, nothing like that.
Nope.
And I think, Phil, what you're talking about is, I think, such a great tip that I don't want people to miss out on.
Right.
And I'm a big believer in that, too. Social media or any kind of marketing communication platform deserves, I don't want to use the official word policy, but at least some personal guidelines that you philosophically choose as to how you're going to relate with the audience on that platform.
Yeah, and it's all etiquette too. I mean, you got to use the etiquette. It's like you wouldn't walk into someone's storefront that's a competitor of yours and be like, hey, I got better shoes over here, and you wouldn't do that crap. So you're not gonna. People hide behind their computer and they feel like they can do that crap online, and you got to use that etiquette there too, and not be pushy or you got to do like you're having a conversation.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why Google Plus is doing so well.
And this is a perfect time to bring up Cresta's comment, because she sends emails to communicate and not provide content. And what's really great
and that's what Phil's saying he's doing. But he's communicating one-on-one, which, I mean, that to me would be so time-consuming. Do you have such a personal relationship with your people that you're sending emails with that just the ones you're going to say something to? You do it just like if you were sending emails to a friend or whatever. Exactly. And so you're not like going down the list sending emails to people. You're just like randomly, or when you think of something that so-and-so might like this, I'll send them an email just like you would a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And you send it directly from your email box. You don't even have an email marketing service, do you?
I do have a MailChimp account that I don't use anymore. And it's funny because I set some of those up a while back for my music company, and every now and then I'll get somebody trickling in and say I've got a new subscriber, but I haven't sent anything on that list in probably a year and a half. So.
So I mean, just to be clear, I know a lot of people that are on this hangout right now are big fans of your community.
Yes.
But you are a new relationship for me. So can you tell us, if it's not too personal, a professional question, how do you make money? Just book sales? How do you make money?
I make money in various ways. I do consulting, so those relationships that I build, people like, okay, you're saying something different, so let me hire you to help me do X or Y or whatever it is.
Got it. Now you're like the Rebel marketing company, right?
Right. So I do that. I do have book sales. I'm getting ready to launch another book here in August, I hope, if I can get my button gear and get it done. I'm probably in August I'll be launching a DIY program that is a version of my consulting practice. So that's how I make money. And that's, again, these are high dollar, except for the books, they're high dollar items. So that relationship is key for me. Now, if you're selling $3 widgets, email marketing might work, it might not, it depends. You know, you need to make a lot of volume, so in that case, your numbers are important. For me, numbers aren't important.
Got it.
You know, I can get by with a few.
That's the difference right there, Phil.
Yep.
I am an online business manager, so I only take about 10 to 15 clients, period, at one time, because it's a higher end service. I'm offering myself, so I'm not selling to the masses. But and I don't send newsletters. I have email lists, and people come in on my list, but I'm like you were. I'm not very good at following up with the list because I'm doing it all for my clients. But most of my clients don't come through email marketing. My clients some of them will come from social media, where they see me on social media, or I go on there and someone has a question about a back end thing or whatever, and I answer a question, and then someone's, oh, that's good. You know, can you help me with this or whatever? Or I get referrals from other clients. I go to events and I meet people there. That's how I get clients. I don't get clients from email marketing at all. So I can get on board with that. But I set up a lot of email marketing and do a lot of email marketing strategies for my clients who are selling items that are more sell to the masses, where they have digital programs and digital books and ebooks and, you know, lower market things that they need to sell to the masses, and email marketing is the way that they do that now. And I don't realistically, I can't see weaning them completely off of that. I definitely tell them to be engaging on social media and all of that kind of stuff. I've always offered that advice. But realistically, do you think people like that? I mean, me and you, we can do that. We can say, hey, I never send a news, and I don't. I'm a rebel. I don't send newsletters to my list that I don't need to, though. But what about the people that do? Can you talk a little? Do you honestly think that people who are selling to the masses can make a living and do very well without email marketing at all?
Yes, I do. And with one caveat, selling $5 widgets is hard. It's very difficult to do, because you're really competing on price at that point.
Right.
And so when you're competing on price, relationship doesn't really matter. So
right, like you're a Target or
it's the context of your business. This is why I say
your retail store or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Now, why I say yes is because we're entering a world now where search is acting differently. So if you want to be found, and if you want to reach the masses, you need to be playing in social media, specifically Google+. And I hate to say that, but the reality is Google is using Google+ and all the other Google properties to rank websites in a certain order, and your relationships that you build and the engagement that you receive on your post factors into that. So if you're relying on strictly email, how are those people going to find your email list to begin with?
Oh, no, I wouldn't rely strictly on email. I'm saying I don't think that some of these people can survive without the email as well as the social media if they're selling to the masses. And most of the time, those types of products, the average is you've got to touch a customer 6 to 8 times, or what, depending on whose analysis you believe. You got to touch a customer so many times before they actually purchase from you. So you got to be nurturing them. You can nurture them on social media as well, but that's my argument. I just don't see how someone like that. I can see how someone like you don't need the masses. Just like with my type of business, I don't need or want the masses. I couldn't handle more than 15 people efficiently. So I don't need masses. I just need 15 great relationships. But these people need way more than 15 great relationships, and they are selling to the masses. So they're not gonna build a relationship with every single one of these people, because it's just not designed that way. It's just like a retail store or whatever. They can make you feel like you're having a relationship with them, but it's not a real relationship But if they limit theirs to what they could really have relationships with, like your 150 people, then they would go out of business. Right?
Well, you know, not necessarily though. Like I was saying, if you've got your core 150 people, there's a thing in the music industry, and it's called the 1,000 true fans, and all you really need is 1,000 true fans. And if you think about a musician, they're a good example of what you're talking about. They're selling low dollar items. They're usually you know, $5 to $20.
Exactly.
And the idea is you need that mass. We need 1 million people. All you really need is the 1,000 true fans. Those 1,000 true people will evangelize what you do, and they'll spread the word, and they'll bring you new fans. And you're connecting with this person, and this person is connecting with 10 other people. Those 10 people are connecting with, and that's how it spreads. So again, going back to the idea of we need this huge list to reach everybody, we can't do that on our own. That's really difficult to build a huge list. How many people do you know that have more than 5,000 people in their list?
Right.
You know, and how long did that take to get? How much effort did that take? And how effective is that? What's your ROI on all that effort? See, I'm thinking you spend your time building those relationships, having those people connect with those other people. Word of mouth is way more powerful than an email sitting in an inbox. You're a lot better off getting that transaction to happen than you would off an email.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, because I'm thinking you're saying, okay, you got to build relationships with everyone if they're going to buy from you, but that's impossible to do. Like you said, the 1,000 people, okay, I get that. If you have 1,000 true friends, then they can go out and bring in the masses through the referrals, but you're not necessarily going to have a relationship with all of those masses coming in. So you're saying it's only necessary to have the relationship with that 150 or that 1,000, and then they will just bring in the masses. So that's what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now that makes
we don't need to own the mass. We just need to be able to the ability to connect with a select core group of people that are that can spread the message, that have that ability to spread the message.
Okay, that makes great sense. So, kind of what I've gotten from, well, let's let some questions, and then we'll kind of wrap it up.
I want to put this out there. I just want to feature some of the comments that are here. We got Cresta's wonderful comment, and I love Scott's little comment. Our friend Scott always add this little tip right there. Why not an image to important emails as well? So this is like a little bit
add
on the
images
other side.
to emails for my clients.
And I actually don't, because I have found that people don't see them, or they're looking at it on a cell phone, and I don't know, it's just kind of distracting.
Or to keep it from loading, maybe.
Yeah,
but I do add some images, and like your signature image with your
it doesn't always show.
Yeah, that's
It doesn't
true.
always show. But, you know, the key thing I think that you're saying, to just sort of summarize it up, at least this is my learning. Hey, you guys, in your comments, I would love to know, since we're wrapping up.
Yeah, what is your hashtag aha that you got?
What is the hashtag, right?
And did Phil change your mind today?
Yeah.
I think a lot of you people, though, I think a lot of you
are Phil's friends.
Are Phil's friends, so you agree with Phil. But if you don't, we want to hear from you. If you agree with Phil, no. I kind of agree with Phil now, just a little bit.
I agree with Phil in all things, and I think my aha moment is that, and I think Phil, you referred to it earlier. Email is not the solution for everything, and the people that say whatever system that they're selling is the solution for absolutely all your woes are full of hashtag, you know what, doggy doo-doo. Hashtag doo-doo. They're full of doo-doo. You have to find what's right for you. Right. I believe you have to set some guidelines and maybe make some marketing choices and decisions as to how you're going to communicate with your social media relationships, how you're going to move those relationships, and how you're going to foster and nurture those relationships with your closest fans, friends, whether you want to have an email list or whatever. So,
has he convinced you to turn off your email marketing?
You know what he's convinced me to do? One of the things you made me see, Phil, is this is a conversation I've been having with myself for a long time. Basically, when I originally created my email list, it really was there to serve that audience. People were always like, hey, what are you up to? What are you doing? We want to know, oh, I didn't know you ran a webinar. I wish I had known. And so I had often just said to people, if you want to know what's going on, get on my email list. Then I made some changes, right? And then I cleaned my list, and I told people that I was going to be making offers on the list. From time to time, I meet amazing people like you, and maybe I want to play this hangout for my audience, and I'd want people to see that. Right. And maybe I want to offer them to buy your book, or maybe they want to look at your program. So one of the gifts that I bring to my people is I have the pleasure of knowing just a huge number of experts, and as a marketing expert, I can vet them and choose the ones I think are most efficient for overwhelmed people. And so I told my list I was going to make offers, right? Right. And a lot of people dropped off. Well, not a lot, but some did, and that was great. That was great. But anyway, back to the aha moment, I'm like, wow, I'm going to take another look at how I'm going to communicate via email and what they can count on me for there, how I'm going to communicate on Google+. I've been on Google+, as one of the first people, and like anything else, I didn't get it at first. Right. I got it, but I didn't get it. Does that make sense, right? And so now I'm really loving to explore this idea of cleaning my circles, right, and making sure that they're relevant. So that's another good tip, because as I get more into Google and meet new people, I'm all about it. I think it is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, well, like Phil said, it's kind of, you can segment your Google Plus people like you do an email. So like you would segmenting an email list. What's that?
It's Eli Delaney. He's one of my peeps there, one of my contacts, and he is an email marketer also.
Oh, let's see what he has to say.
So he says he came in late, and he still loves email, right?
Yeah.
And it still rocks for him, but he also writes his emails. I'm going to tell you.
He's saying you got to have a mix.
You got to have a mix.
Rocks for us, but I also write emails very
personal to make it work, right? So
Okay.
it's not just throw your garbage at people, right?
Right. And I think, too, you got to consider, like, some of my clients are older clients, other than even, of course.
Oh, I'm old, too.
And
totally.
and their audience isn't as savvy on social media, and not all of them are there. They're still back in email marketing world. So I seen a comment from someone about we're not in the 90s. Well, I'm sorry, honey, but some people still are.
Yeah, and that's a great point. If your audience is in the 90s, then you need to use 90s methods to reach them.
Exactly, to reach them, yes. So I have
So in that case, email is the tool that you want to use that's going to, feed your business and your family. So that's why I say we got to stop thinking with blanket statements on this tool works, this tool doesn't. I think we're moving away from email, but yeah, there's audiences out there that are stuck in 1996.
Right.
You can even find those websites out there that haven't been updated since then.
Yeah, that's like, my dad is in his early 60s, and the man just 2 weeks ago learned how to reply to a text message from me. 2 weeks ago. And bought a smartphone and is very intimidated by it. And he wouldn't get your email or anything. He's just got my text. But yeah, I do have, you do have some of those older audiences that aren't on social media. They think it's for teenagers, or they think it's for college children, or they think, like, I'm not on Snapchat. The only people I'm friends with on Snapchat are my kids, because that's usually the only way I can get them to respond to me, because they're not on Facebook anymore. A lot of the young kids are moving away from Facebook, and it's more business people that are there. Right. And so we've taken over, us entrepreneurs have taken over Facebook, and we've ran out the college kids and the high school kids. They're no longer there. So they're over on Snapchat, but Snapchat isn't working for us. So we're on, this is our Snapchat, is the Google Plus platform, and Hangouts is more of our Snapchat, where we can instantly have a conversation with someone. So
And so you bring up a good point with. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and you bring up a good point with Snapchat. If you want to reach teens, then Snapchat's going to be a platform you're going to want to look at, and they don't do email, so
Right.
you want to avoid email, and that email is totally not going to work. Whatever the debate is, email will not work with teens because they're not on. They don't really use email.
Right. I have teenagers. I have an 18-year-old. She has an email account for her college, but that's it. She just scans it for any information from her professors to make sure she's not in trouble or make sure they got her work, and that's it. Right. And then my 15-year-old, it doesn't even have an email address. So
mine's got it, but he's never in there.
They're not. Yeah, they don't use that.
Mine's platform. On Instagram.
So that's a good point. That's a good point. Phil might be saying, "Hey, email marketing is dead," and that might be true. I can get on board that might be true in some situations, and it may be moving that way, but some people are still behind. Some people miss that bus, and they're still in email marketing. So like Phil said to begin with, if it's working for you, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But you do want to start engaging on social media and building those relationships on social media too, because that is where it's at. Just like with Google Plus, it's kind of new, but if you kind of get in while it's buggy,
get it while it's buggy,
and it's buggy,
then you're going to start building those relationships, because there aren't a massive amount of people on Google Plus yet as to what it's going to be. So you can start building relationships with people like Phil and like Scott, who I've kind of built little relationships with on Google Plus, who probably wouldn't have given me the time of day otherwise. I mean, really, I was just telling I've been on Twitter and I've been on Facebook for like 10 years now, and I've been on Google Plus for maybe 3-4 months, and I have actually gotten more engagement in the last 3 months on Google Plus than I have on Twitter or Facebook in the last 10 years. So it's definitely moving, and each one keeps changing. There's a new one coming all the time, and you got to keep up with that. So you don't want to get behind. If you got some people, then they are a little behind, but they're still buying from you, and they're still customers, and they're still, helping you. They're supporting your business and what you're doing. Then you got to communicate with them through email, or they're not going to know anything that you're doing. But you still got to keep moving too, because everything's evolving. Finally, they're going to catch up. But you got to keep evolving too, so you can bring in new people as well, and you got to go where your people are.
I want to reference Amy Novakuski from Ginger Snap Works. She just did an awesome webinar with me, and one of the things she talked about, and you've heard people say this flip the funnel idea, but the really key distinction that I think Phil is hitting on perfectly. One of the things that she says, and boy, you guys would have a blast, because she's all about email's dead, email sucks, blah, blah, blah.
And she doesn't want to have a list. She hates to have a list. Oh, yeah. She's right on board with you.
Right, she really is. But one of the things that she says that I really loved is she talks about taking the time to really, really understand exactly where and when your sale happens. If it's in a conversation, then you know that you've got to take every relationship to a physical conversation, whether it's by phone or whatever. If it happens online, then you need to do these things that are appropriate to help that person engage in that way.
Right.
So I think that that's exactly what you're saying, and I think that is a fantastic point.
I want to reference, I didn't know who said it, but this is Christine was saying about the 90s reference, and she said the 90s reference was more in terms of our marketing mindset. Well, still, that's what I'm saying, Christine. I was being a little facetious there. I wasn't really trying to put you down. That's just my personality. But really, your marketing mindset has to be, if your clients and your customers and your people still have a mindset of they only will check their emails, they don't get on social media, then that's where your marketing mindset has to be too. It has to be in the 90s, because that's where your people are going to be. So I kind of have to disagree there. Of course, I do agree that, just like I was saying, you do have to have a mindset of you need to keep evolving, and keep moving forward, but you still may need to be sending an email list to those clients that need an email, or they're not going to hear from you, and they're not going to know what you have going on.
Right.
So I don't think it's completely dead. It might be phasing out.
It's resting.
It's resting.
Like the Monty Python.
No, I got it. Okay, it's in a retirement home.
There you go.
We just moved it into Shady Oaks, and it's having a good time at Shady Oaks. It's playing bingo, and eating mushy food, and all of that.
Oh man.
It's still living. It's just living a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Does that? Can you get on board with that, Phil?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Crazy metaphor. Crazy analogy.
That's right. That's what I used to be, a nurse, an elder nurse. So yeah, that's it. That's what it is. So it's not completely dead yet. We can't kill it yet. Plus, we still got the people who
Grandma. Trying to kill Grandma.
Yeah, and she's playing bingo, and the only thing she's figured out is how to open her emails. She hasn't figured out Facebook. That's what I told my dad. I'm like, okay, Dad, now that you've got this smartphone, I need to get you on Facebook. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa there, honey. Let me get this sex thing down first. So,
did you say sex thing?
Text.
Oh, text.
Not sex with my daddy. I'm from North Carolina, not West Virginia.
And we're in room territory here.
I didn't mean that.
Only West Virginia we have.
No, I did not even go to that, but you did.
I'm just kidding. There's great people in West Virginia. That's just a North Carolina.
Why don't you do the apology right away so you don't have to do it later?
Okay. I
regret.
Did not have sex. Oh, that's the wrong one. I apologize to all the people from West Virginia, because I've got to drive back through there on my way home. Please do not attack me. I will be, what kind of car do you drive? I will be in a Subaru.
Hey,
I apologize. That was just a funny joke.
That was just a funny joke. Hey, let's bring Christine back, because she is sharing some really good stuff.
Christine is going to be in West Virginia waiting for me to come through.
Yeah, right? No, but seriously, this is one thing that I totally agree with her on. I think when you brought up your texting.
Yes, texting.
Texting. She's talking about mobile being a proven way, and that's very true. And I've been wondering, and in fact, this hasn't happened as quickly as I thought it would. I really thought with so much mobile marketing going on, I was sure it was going to go the way of email and get junk mail through your text, and they've actually done a half-decent job of not, that you're getting approved text, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the mobile marketing, though, and getting the text message.
I don't want it.
I think it has to be done in a good way, too, because, like, if I get a Redbox promo code, love that. I'm getting me a free movie. Oh, yeah. But anything else, I consider that kind of spammy. I already have to have a relationship with you if you're going to text me, because if not, then you're the creeper who's sitting at home in their underwear eating Cheetos, sending you text messages that you don't want. Yeah, and you don't know what kind of picture might pop up next.
I love her hashtag. I totally love it. Hey, guys, we've been doing this for like an hour, so we got to let Phil
holy cow.
More than 30 minutes.
I know he did, and it was 30 minutes. It was an hour worth spending, I think. Thank you, Phil.
Any closing words, and let people know, I know most of your people are probably here, but we do have a few of ours here too, so, and a lot of ours like to watch us late at night, we don't know why, while they eat Cheetos in their underwear. So if you would, could you...
oh man, I got to get that image out of my mind.
Where they can find more about you. I'm imagining it's on some social media platform, but let us know how we can find out more about you.
I'm here on Google Plus. I spend more time here than I probably should. So I'm just Phil Boyer here. I'm also at philboyer.com. You can go there and check out what I have to offer there. I do this kind of cool thing, or I call it a fika. And this show was supposed to be a little different with my buddy Mike.
We have to do that later.
Yeah.
So he turned me on to this thing called Fika. So you guys can actually come on, sign up. We'll have a little 15-minute Fika, get to know each other, have some fun, and then be on your way. So you can go to my website and check that out. I'm on Amazon if you want to buy my book. If not, that's cool. It's a little outdated. Wait for my new one. It'll be better.
And what's your book called?
The first one's called Social Media Strategies for Small Businesses.
Okay, great.
And the next one's called Coloring Outside the Lines.
Make sure you send that to me, Phil. I am the book editor for Small Business Trends. I review new books, and make sure you send it to me, please.
Yes, she'll get it out there. She might send it out in an email to let people know, but
no, I won't. This is actually premium content that is seen on Small Business Trends. Actually, everyone will see it. It's a super powerful site for small business. So you definitely have to send me that. So we got philboyer.com.
Yes.
We got
Amazon.
Social Media for Small Business. Hit Amazon. Yes. You should just go to Amazon and type in his name and buy all his stuff.
Buy it all, yeah. And go back frequently because he's going to be releasing more books. So
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being part of our show. This has been a great, friendly debate. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
You said I was going to be able. Did that previous pitch for if you love small business experts?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to do my shameless pitch,
you
right?
didn't write it down.
I know. www.smallbizapalooza. You should love that, Phil, because it is all rock and roll themed. It's the rock stars of small business. If you love advice like you got today, definitely check it out. Register and tell your 1,000 friends. And this is our logo, like just like that.
Yes. It is.
But it's not devilish. It's only like devilish in the renegade small business.
It's actually a good luck.
When I do it, I look like I'm throwing gang signs. I don't look.
Yeah, what is it? What is it, Phil? Give us the official.
It's actually it's to ward off evil.
Yes.
Is what that is.
Ah, so it's a good
Everybody thinks because Ronnie James Dio started using this and he's a metal dude that it's all satanic and stuff. It's actually quite the opposite. Metal is actually not satanic. Iron Maiden is not a satanic band. They actually pull their stuff from literature and the Bible, actually. So
I used to like them in the 90s. Christine.
There you
I
go.
love it. I love it. Hey, do you think I could play the outro without screwing it up?
Probably not, but we'll try. Thank you, Phil, for being on
Thank
the
you.
show.
It's been
Thank
awesome,
you for
guys.
playing along with us. We're going to play the outro now.
We're going to try to play
hopefully.
the outro if I can figure out how to share my screen properly.
And we're going to do it smoothly maybe next time.
We'll get it right. Scott, we're going to figure it out.
Yay! That was fun. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks, Phil.
See ya.
Bye, Phil.
Thank you.
Bye. Rock on. Go check out Small Business Palooza.
Stop,